You turned off the light, but your mind never did. Your body is lying in bed, yet your thoughts are still running. One conversation plays over and over again. One mistake suddenly feels impossible to forget. A problem that seemed small this afternoon now feels enormous in the quiet of the night. And no matter how hard you try, your mind refuses to let go. If that's where you are right now, stay with me. Don't try to force yourself to sleep. Not yet, because the harder you chase sleep, the further away it seems to move. Tonight, we're going to do something different. We're not going to fight your thoughts. We're not going to silence your mind. And we're not going to pretend those thoughts don't exist. We're simply going to stop giving them the power to keep you awake. Right now, your brain believes it has one last job before you can rest. To solve everything. Every unanswered question. Every unfinished conversation. Every possible tomorrow. It thinks that if it keeps thinking, it can finally make you safe. But there is one problem. Your mind was never designed to solve tomorrow at midnight. So tonight, for just a little while, I'm going to ask you to set tomorrow down. Not forever. Just until morning. Because whatever your mind is trying so desperately to solve tonight will still be there when the sun comes up. And if it can wait until morning, it doesn't deserve your peace tonight. Stay here with me. Just one thought at a time. One breath at a time. Without realizing it, your mind has already begun to slow down. Good. Now let me tell you something. Your mind isn't awake because it enjoys worrying. It's awake because it believes that staying alert will somehow protect you. So it searches, it replays, it imagines, it prepares, over and over again. Not because it's trying to make your night harder, but because it's trying to make tomorrow easier. The problem is that there comes a moment when thinking stops being helpful and simply becomes noise. Imagine trying to see your reflection in a lake. If you keep stirring the water, you'll never see clearly. Not because the lake is broken, but because it never had the chance to become still. Your mind works the same way. It doesn't need more effort. It needs more stillness. So don't chase the next thought. Don't answer the next question. Don't finish the next imaginary conversation. Just let them exist without following them. One thought may say, "What if tomorrow goes wrong?" You don't have to answer. Another may whisper, "What if I forgot something important?" You don't have to answer that either. Tonight, every unanswered question has permission to remain unanswered because your value has never depended on solving every problem before you fall asleep. Notice the mattress supporting your body. You haven't been holding yourself up. It has been holding you all along. Notice the blanket resting gently against your skin, the quietness of the room, the darkness surrounding you. These things ask nothing from you. They don't need you to perform. They don't need you to think harder. They simply invite you on it to rest. And perhaps that's exactly what your mind has been longing for. Even while it kept pretending, it needed one more thought. There's something I've noticed. The thoughts that keep you awake at night are rarely about this moment. They're almost always about a future that hasn't happened or a past that can no longer be changed. Your mind quietly moves through time, looking for something it believes it missed. One more answer, one more solution, one more way to protect you. But tonight, I'd like to offer your mind something it almost never receives. Permission to stop searching, just for now. Not because every problem has been solved, but because no problem has ever been solved, by exhausting the person trying to solve it. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack all day. Eventually, your shoulders begin to ache, not because you're weak, but because they were never meant to carry that weight forever. Your mind feels the same. Thought after thought, worry after worry, question after question. Eventually, it becomes tired, not because it has failed you, but because it has been working without rest. So instead of asking, "How do I stop thinking?" try asking a gentler question. What if I don't have to follow every thought? There's a difference. You cannot always stop a thought from appearing, but you can choose whether to walk beside it or simply watch it drift by, like leaves floating down a quiet river. You don't jump into the water. You don't try to catch every leaf. You simply watch as one passes, then another, then another. And after a while, you realize something. The river keeps flowing, and whether you hold on to the leaves or not, your thoughts do the same. They were never meant to become your home. They were only meant to pass through. Tonight, let them pass. Without resistance, without judgment, without believing that every thought deserves your attention. Think about the room you're in. Nothing is asking anything from you. The walls aren't expecting answers. The ceiling isn't waiting for decisions. The night itself isn't demanding that you solve your entire life before morning. Only your mind is. And perhaps, for the first time today, you can gently disagree with it. Not with anger, not with frustration, simply with kindness. You may quietly say to yourself, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but you don't have to work anymore tonight." Those words may seem simple, but your nervous system understands kindness far better than pressure. Notice your breathing, not to change it, just to notice it. Without your attention, it continues. Without your effort, it continues. Your body has been taking care of you every second of your life. Tonight, allow it to continue doing what it has always done. While your body breathes, your mind can begin to rest. Slowly, naturally, without being forced. If another thought appears, let it arrive. Welcome it. Then let it leave in its own time. You don't have to finish every story your mind begins. Some stories don't need an ending tonight. Some questions don't need an answer before sunrise. Some worries become much smaller after a good night's sleep. So allow tomorrow to belong to tomorrow. This moment belongs to you. This bed belongs to rest. This night belongs to peace. And perhaps, for the first time today, you can simply let yourself be here. As the room grows quieter, you may begin to notice something, not outside of you, but within you. The urgency is beginning to soften, perhaps only a little, perhaps so gently that you almost don't notice it. That's how peace often arrives, not like a switch being turned on, but like the sky, slowly changing before sunrise. You never see the exact second that darkness disappears. You simply look up and realize the light has returned. Your mind works the same way. You don't have to force it into silence. You simply stop feeding the noise. Every thought you don't chase becomes a little weaker. Every worry you choose not to solve tonight, it becomes a little quieter. And little by little, your mind remembers something it has forgotten: how to rest. Imagine placing every unfinished thought inside a small wooden box. Every worry, every plan, every regret, every unanswered question. Place them there, one by one. Not because they don't matter, they do, but because they deserve a mind that is rested enough to face them tomorrow. Close the lid. You don't have to lock it. You don't have to throw it away. Simply leave it there until morning. Nothing inside that box needs your attention tonight. Not one thing. Tonight, your only responsibility is to rest, to let your body recover, to let your breathing find its own gentle rhythm, to allow your mind to remember that sleep has never been something you earn. It has always been a gift your body knows how to receive. when you finally give yourself permission to let go. There's one more thing. Your mind has spent the entire day in trying to predict the future, trying to avoid mistakes, trying to prepare for conversations that haven't happened, trying to solve problems that may never even exist. It must be exhausted. Perhaps that's why you're still awake. Not because your mind is too active, but because it has forgotten how to stop carrying the world. Tonight, you don't have to carry it. The world will continue turning while you sleep. Tomorrow will arrive without your permission. The sun will rise, whether you spend the next hour worrying or resting. There is something deeply comforting about that. You are not responsible for holding tomorrow together. You never were. So let your shoulders become just a little heavier against the mattress. Feel your hands resting naturally. Feel the quiet rhythm of your breathing. Everything your body needs to do tonight, it already knows how to do. Sleep isn't something you create, it's something you allow. Just as you cannot force a flower to bloom, you cannot force your mind to become quiet, but you can create the conditions where quietness naturally returns. Patience, gentleness, stillness, acceptance. These are the places where peaceful nights begin. If your thoughts return, let them return. Don't be surprised by them. Simply greet them the way you would greet a passing train. You notice it, you hear it, and then you let it continue on its journey. Not every thought deserves a conversation. Not every worry deserves your attention. Some thoughts are simply passing through, and tonight, you can let them pass without following them. Because this night doesn't belong to your worries. It belongs to your rest. And now, there is nothing left to do. Nothing left to solve. Nothing left to carry. The day is over. Every conversation that happened today is over. Every decision you made is over. Every mistake, every success, every unfinished task can wait. Tomorrow will have its own strength. Tonight belongs to rest. If your mind quietly tries to pull you back into another thought, gently remind it, not tonight. Not because the thought isn't important, but because you are. Because your peace matters too. Your body deserves a night where it doesn't have to stay alert, where your heart doesn't have to race, where your mind doesn't have to stand guard. It has protected you all day. Now, allow it to recover. Notice how heavy your body feels against the bed. There is nothing holding you up anymore. Nothing asking you to stay ready. Nothing demanding your attention. Just the quiet rhythm of another peaceful breath, and another, and another. You don't have to search for sleep. Sleep has been waiting for you all along. It doesn't arrive through effort. It arrives when effort quietly lets go. So if your eyes become heavier, allow them. If your thoughts become softer, allow them. If silence slowly replaces the noise, welcome it. Without expectation, without pressure, without asking, "Am I asleep yet?" Simply remain here, resting, breathing, existing, exactly as you are. You have done enough for today. You have carried enough for today. You have thought enough for today. Now, let the night carry you. And let tomorrow wait until tomorrow. Before we finish, I want you to notice something. You made it here. Not because your mind became perfectly quiet, but because you stopped asking it to be. There's a difference. For so long, you may have believed that peace begins when every thought disappears. But peace has never required a silent mind. It only asks that you stop believing. Every thought deserves your attention. Tonight, your thoughts may still come and go. That's okay. The wind still moves through the trees, yet the forest remains peaceful. The waves continue to reach the shore, yet the ocean remains beautiful. Movement doesn't destroy peace. Resistance does. So if another thought arrives, let it arrive. If another memory appears, let it appear. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to finish it. You don't have to solve it. Simply let it pass, the way the night lets clouds drift across the sky, without effort, without judgment, without fear. If this quiet moment helped you tonight, save this session. Come back whenever your mind feels too loud or your heart feels too heavy to rest. And if you'd like more guided sessions to help you calm your mind, quiet overthinking, ease anxiety, and find peace, subscribe to Made for More. This channel exists for nights exactly like this, for the nights when your thoughts refuse to slow down, and all you need is a gentle reminder that you don't have to carry everything alone. Thank you for letting me spend these quiet moments with you. Now let your breathing become softer. Let your body become heavier. Let your thoughts drift a little farther away. The night is here. Your bed is here. You are safe. And tomorrow can wait. Good night.